Very good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here on The Big Story. I'm Afrida Rahman Ali. We're going to look at the issue of the fact that the monsoon session so far has been largely unproductive, and we are now sitting the last week, staring at the very last week of this session. Time to take a reality check on what has gone wrong really with this session. Has anything gone right at all for this session? Important questions to ask, because here is an opportunity for the citizens, for the taxpayers, for the voters to hear their representatives. Has that been completely wasted in this session? Because just for perspective, I'm going to tell our viewers here that if you look at what we have done so far in this monsoon session of Parliament, only one debate on COVID-19 pandemic in the Rajya Sabha has taken place that can be counted as substantive business. Beyond that, did we have any meaningful discussion or debate on any of the other key issues, whether it is the price rise and inflation or the farmers' issues or COVID mismanagement for that matter? Yes, one debate, but then in terms of talking about the third wave and the other key issues, the Parliament session has fallen abysmally short of expectations. In comparison, last year, 6 debates in total were held, 3 in the Rajya Sabha and 3 in the Lok Sabha in the monsoon session. That is just to give a perspective on the extent of wastage that we are talking about. The opposition alleges that the government has been passing bills with brute force without hearing the opposition benches, which they claim is against parliamentary tradition. It's a travesty of democracy. The government cites meaningless obstructions and, of course, repeated adjournments as deliberate disruption to derail parliamentary session. So that's both sides of the story, and it is a familiar story, to say the least. The parties may have swapped. Those holding the treasury benches today used to be in the opposition benches earlier, but the proceedings remain mired with ruckus and pandemonium. And this has led to, unfortunately, largely unproductive sessions. Let's now raise the important questions here. What can we salvage going further? It's the last week of the monsoon session. The opposition has gone to the extent of releasing a video where their point is that we are not heard in Parliament, even as the Parliament is in session. These are the means that we have to resort to. But is the opposition equally guilty of muscle flexing, posturing, using this opportunity to display opposition unity, which also has been punctured with several absentees from the prominent parties? So all of these questions now need to be raised, especially because we are going to question the unproductive session, the colossal waste of resources, and the citizens robbed of their right to seek accountability from the leaders, despite multiple efforts at various levels to have smooth conduct of business. This has miserably failed. All we have are sessions reduced to loud confrontations, sound and fury, signifying nothing. Let me introduce Dr. Anshul Avijit, National Spokesperson of the Congress, joining us this afternoon. Also, Raman Malik, spokesperson of the BJP, with us as well. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. So I have outlined the important questions that we need to ask. Raman Malik, Lok Sabha passed 3 bills today without discussion. And we've heard multiple leaders from opposition parties, the TMC being prominent among them. In fact, Kakoli Dastidar just yesterday claims 25 bills passed in less than 21 minutes. Before that, Derek O'Brien also raised a similar issue. Now, this is an important question that the government must answer for. This is a democracy. There's a parliamentary tradition to be followed. Why are bills being passed in this manner without taking the opposition into confidence?
Okay, so let's understand this. Whatever the situations, I will explain it to you later, but let me name certain bills. There was a competition amendment bill which was passed on 6th of September 2007, 4 minutes. Clinical Establishment and Regulations Bill 2010, passed in 1 minute on 3rd of May 2010. Payments of Gratuity Amendment Bill 3/5/2010, passed in 3 minutes.
So are you following the Congress's footsteps, sir? Is this going to be a whataboutery? You are going to outdo the Congress in how fast they passed bills and compete with them in that kind of a tradition?
Listen to me. The problem is at times you don't have the patience to listen to the entire issue that is being portrayed forward to you. And also not forgetting what they did way back in 76, 77 when the entire opposition was behind bars and they were passing bills and amending even the preamble of the constitution. So let's not put that all facts into this debate. Let's simply talk what they are doing. They are now acting as basically people who have lost faith into themselves, and they are not letting the parliament work. They are brutalizing the security staff. They are doing all kind of stuff which is not expected out of any parliamentarian. Having said that, if you want to have a debate, you should have the time to have a debate. Every time a debate is listed, they run away. If you want to protest, protest. Who's stopping you to protest? But is this the way to protest? That you will snatch?
No, but where is the opposition running away? They are saying you may of course assert or you may claim that the opposition wants the order of business to decide the order of business. They are claiming that let's have this discussion first. But where are they running away from a debate? They are asking for a debate.
This is a tyranny of minority. This is tyranny of minority. Okay. Not to forget it.
Right, let me have Anshul respond to that. Anshul, very strong words coming from Raman Malik, very clearly saying that you're acting holier than thou, you're brutalizing after what happened during your regime. Do you really have that moral ground to make these claims that the government is bulldozing through bills?
What a terribly weak pivot that is, that always blame the Congress for what is happening now. You can always say that, actually, are they trying to, it's a quite self-defeating argument, because are they trying to say that somehow you're validating your actions by looking at the past? So what you're doing is absolutely wrong, but somehow you're saying, look, you guys did this, we can do it even bigger and better. We can completely destroy everything that this country stands for. This is what the government has been doing at this moment. The onus on running the parliament lies with the government. Let's not.
And what is the role of the opposition?
Expecting continuously dishonoring the opposition. Mr. Malik, I respectfully listen to your very weak and full of flaws argument. So let me just put in mind, so you can counter it.
But if you want to add adjectives,
what I'm trying to say
have a war of adjectives.
Let's do it. Let's do it in the parliament.
Let's hear out, Anshul. I'll come back to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can do it.
Let's have a war of adjectives then, Mr. Abhijit, because you do not have content to fight me on facts. Let's start talking on the facts.
It's such a weak pivot. You started off. Actually, I should be flattered.
We are talking about the facts. We are talking about finance bills and legislations that affect our rights being passed in a token fashion. That is what is happening, sir. Let Anshul finish. I'll come back to you. Yes, Anshul.
No. What Mr. Raman Malik is displaying is actually what the government is doing. What they're doing is weaponizing their majority in parliament like an assault rifle to destroy all opposition. So they think that in the first past the post system, they've got a majority and that entitles them to this kind of elected autocracy where you completely dishonor and diminish the voice of the opposition, do not allow them to speak. In fact, Mr. Prahlad Joshi said that Pegasus was a non-issue. It shouldn't be discussed when there's enough evidence. There's a global outrage, a global cry for the fact
but Anshul, isn't it true that you're forcing the government to push through bills? There has to be some legislative business done. It is the government's responsibility to ensure that. You are leaving no choice. You are leaving them with no choice but to do this because you refuse to go back. The members refuse to go back to their places. They storm the well of the House. And let's admit there have been some shameful incidents of paper tearing, etc., which should never have happened. And that is not the way to do your muscle flexing. Raman Malik, respond to what Anshul just said.
The obduracy and the unyielding attitude, Mr. Malik, come on. Come on, Mr. Malik, let's have a
Okay, I'm not able to understand anyone right now. Anshul, just hold on. Let Mr. Malik respond.
That is a problem. That is a problem with the BJP. It's reflected in the members of the House itself and the government. Mr. Malik's kind of interjection, continuous interjection, without the opposition having even a... I mean, it reflects that what need you ask more questions of Frida than Mr. Malik's continuous interjection to what I'm saying. Allow me to speak, Mr. Malik. Otherwise, I know very, very, other ways of just bulldozing
okay,
through and not allowing...
finish your point. Okay, let's hear it. Let's finish your point.
I can do the same thing. I didn't allow him to... I allowed you to speak. You want me to continue to interrupt you while you're speaking.
But let's understand. Let you put some points.
You're telling me to understand. You have no idea of the economy. You have absolutely destroyed the economy. Your response to the COVID has been absolutely disastrous. We gave you a gift of 8% GDP.
Okay, I'm going to come in at this point because there's a big overlap. I'm going to come in at this point because, the fact of the matter is people are losers. When this happens, when we cannot seek accountability in that one session that comes of the parliament session where it's an opportunity for the citizens, the voters and the taxpayers to seek accountability, when it is robbed of the people, it's a very serious issue. And I'm sorry, but both sides will have to take responsibility for it. Raman Malik, I want to ask you this question now. If you look at the entire issue now, largely the Pegasus issue has become a reason for disruption, and that's unfortunate, isn't it? I mean, look at the list of key issues that the people wanted to hear out the parliamentarians. The farmers are sitting at Delhi's doorstep right now. You have rising inflation, you have paralyzed education system, the schools are not opening, you have the bulk of students disconnected because of the digital divide. You have a situation in the Northeast, you have a situation with China. All of these issues did not get reflected adequately in this session. Who will take responsibility for that, Mr. Malik?
See, let me just, from the arguments of Mr. Anshul Abhijit, I accept the economy is in doldrums.
Please say what you, please
the
say
economy is in the doldrums. Which economy? Economy of the Gandhi Nehru.
No, please don't interrupt. Mr. Malik, only Mr. Malik, please.
Yeah,
so
no, I'm
Gandhi
just giving him the courtesy.
Economy has been totally disrupted. Their economy is finished.
Mr. Malik, how much was the GDP when you inherited this government? How much was the GDP? It was 8%. Now it's minus 7.3%. What are you talking about? What is he talking about? It was 8% when he came into government. He destroyed the economy. It's 7.3% now.
Please tell me,
no, let's hear one by one, please. Yes, Mr. Malik.
That your phone was being hacked. Why did you not file a complaint in the police station? Why did you not give your phone for forensic evidencing? Why was it so important for you to hold it back? If you knew your phone has an hathiyar in it, why couldn't you forward it to the investigative agency? Now let's come and talk about the COVID issue. Now, when the parliament wanted to talk about Pegasus or the COVID issue, these people, because they knew they had fabricated entire discourse of negative talking, they ran away from the debate. I still challenge them that they can pick out a state like Haryana and a state like Punjab and validate what is the difference in COVID handling here. You want to do any kind of comparative analysis, we are ready with the same yardstick. We are ready. You will fail everywhere, Mr. Abhijit. Your entire opposition jingbang is going to fail because you have never bothered about the people. The only thing that you're bothered about is your own health and your own comfort. आपसे तो ट्रैक्टर पे सोफे पे बैठ के जाया जाता है. You can't even sit on a normal seat of a tractor. You need a sofa for that. So what are you going to talk about?
Okay, let Anshul respond. Quick rebuttal. I need to close the discussion. Anshul.
No, Mr. Malik has absolutely no clue about anything.
Please make your point.
Keeps going back to the Congress.
Hear you out now.
Jo hai, so hai. History is very unsparing, Mr. Malik. It will judge the Congress or any other party for what it will. It will not judge you in any kind of fairness because you completely destroyed this country. You have dishonored the opposition. You have not allowed them to speak.
Does the opposition
you have not
order?
brought in important issues, and the economy is completely destroyed. So what can you say? You have no legs to stand. You have absolutely no argument to make, and therefore you have aimless arguments, weak pivoting, like going back to the Congress. I mean, is this an argument to make when you're 7 years in power? Arey, unhone kya kiya tha? Unko dekhiye, inko dekhiye. Mr. Malik, come on, let's have a mature debate. That's what I'm trying to do. At this point, we want 3 things, 4 things. First of all, Pegasus,
we heard both the sides. Our job is to give a platform to both the sides to make their points, which we have done. I think the viewers in their discretion can decide, because it was for everyone to see what happened in those proceedings. Mr. Raman Malik, Anshul Abhijit, thank you for joining us. It was there for everyone to see, and the viewers in their wisdom can understand whether this was deliberate disruption. Did the government bulldoze through the bills? Is this fair to the nation at large? I leave it for the viewers to decide. Thanks for watching.